I am Syed Fakhar Imam with course title Advanced News Reporting. Today in this session we will discuss the topic beat reporting. This topic is very important and very basic for those students who want to join media as a career. Here on screen we have two main questions. First question is, what is beat reporting and how beat reporters to improve the quality? Or we can say, what is beat reporting and how beat reporters to improve the quality of newspaper, television and radio. Our second question is, how to do a beat. Both questions will be discussed in detail, so we will discuss one by one. In many newsrooms, reporters have opportunity to concentrate and focus on particular area of the news. In newsroom, one person may be political reporter, one may be educational reporter, one may be business reporter, and one may be crime reporter, and one may be agriculture reporter. Basically, these areas called beat. Why? Because journalists used to visit all of their areas on regular basis and collect information for their media organizations such as print media, electronic media, TV or radio. Dear students, reporters have assigned different beats and regular basis. They reported if there is something newsworthy or simply we can say important for society or public, he or she will be reported. Because events or activities is occurred in that particular area, that's why we call it beat in newsroom. Even in small newsroom, however, you can build up a reputation as the best person in particular area. Why? Because you are doing your job in that particular area. For example, if you are in a small news organization or in small newsroom or in local areas, if you work day and night and you build your reputation, so you will be expert in that particular area. For example, you are educational reporter in Kohat or other districts. If you work effectively day and night, then you will be expert and have more knowledge. Why? Because you are working day and night. The advantage is that if a journalist have assigned special area, he or she will be know more about that as compared to other reporters. So he will be more knowledge. As we know that news is new, unusual, interesting, significant and all about people. Reporters can only assess news or newsworthy when he or she know whether something is really new, whether it is really unusual, and whether or not it is significant. He should know the news values and news element. It is very important and very basic for reporter. In this sense, beat reporter has a chance to know all this by keeping in touch day after day and week after week with all that is happening in beat. For example, educational reporter, he will be in touch and contact all the offices, institution and other educational department in that particular area. He will update himself from everything, what is happened and what is going to be happened. The more you spend time on beat, the more you will find and know about it. You will know when something is new, and when it has been reported already, you will know when something is unusual. And when it is a standard procedure, you will know when something is truly significant. As we know that news is about people, the people who makes the things happen and the people whose lives are affected by what happens. Beat reporters have the advantage of getting to know the people on their round and can therefore tell the news in more human terms. Knowing the people on the beat has another advantage. Some of the people you deal with will be honest and other will be dishonest, and some will be actively political and other will not. As you learn the nature of each person and find out their network of family and other obligations, you will be better able to judge where the truth lies. You will know when you are being used and will be able to avoid writing an inaccurate story which a person wants to you write for reasons of their own. The beat reporters or round reporters need to make an effort all the time to see things as the reader or listener would see them, but also to understand things as an expert would understand them. Now, our second question is how to do a beat. So let's look at the steps you should take in order to be a good reporter or beat reporter. Here we have 6 steps. First one is prepare. Second one is establish contact. Third one is get acquainted. Fourth one is nuisance. Fifth one is translate jargon. And sixth one is give and take. So when we cover a beat, or if you cover a beat, so how to do? So you should follow this 6 steps. It is very important. So we will discuss one by one. First one is prepare. As we discussed earlier that the main advantage of beat reporter is that he or she become more knowledgeable in his field. And we also discussed that if reporter have assigned beat for first time, he will know more about that field anybody else. So once you have assigned a beat or area, so you have to start by doing some preparation or preparation work, not just during your working hours, but spend more time you are serious about being and become a good journalist. If you are serious, if you want to become a good journalist, so you should start preparation work or research work. You will need to take every opportunity to become more knowledgeable and better educated about your beat. Read books and magazines on the subject, attend conferences, seminar if available. And the more you understand the subject, the better you will report. Our second point is establish contacts. Any reporter is only as good as their contacts. If you do not have ways of finding the news, you cannot tell it. You will need to establish contacts, people who understand who you are and what you want and prepare to cooperate with you. Basically, young journalists feel uncomfortable about asking people to provide them with information. They may feel shy with such as an important person and find it difficult to ask for anything at all. A journalist does not need to feel like this. You will also be helped if you remember that many of people you wish to be your contact can benefit from having direct access to journalists. There may be times in future when they will be cross with the things you must write, especially if you have bad news to tell. But there will be also a time when they will be glad to have an opportunity to get their point of view across to the public. So you believe that you are doing an important job and you are aware that many of these people want to know you as much you want to know them. Now you must get acquainted. So our third point is get acquainted. Start by arranging visits. Explain who you are and you have just been appointed as an educational reporter. Explain that you want to do a good job, reporting honestly and accurately all that is going on in the field of education. So you need to explain the nature of a relationship you are suggesting. You will also need to explain clearly and honestly that your first duty is to your readers and listeners, not to your contacts. If your contact asks you to keep conspiracy secret so that he did not get into trouble, your clear duty would be to do your job and write a story. It is important that your contacts understand this from very beginning. After you have established contact, you must keep in touch with them. And second important point is build their trust in you and their respect for you by taking great care to understand whatever you told and to report accurately. Our fourth point is nuisance. Use your nuisance. However good your contacts are, you cannot expect them to have good sense. They are not journalists, so you cannot always expect them to know when something is newsworthy. First, you can spend time explaining to them what you mean by news and sort of information which you are looking for. Second one, you need to spend time regularly just chatting with your contacts, asking them what is going on. Do not just ask them, is there any news at the moment? So you should use a news sense. It is very important. So our fifth point is translate jargon. In many fields of human activity, experts develop their own jargon. Other experts in the same field will understand them, and use of this jargon enable to talk about complicated things in few words. As you become more expert in your beat, you will hear a lot of jargon and you will understand what it means. You will start to use it yourself in talking to your contacts. You must take care that you do not use it in your reports. You must translate it into plain language. Our next point is, last point is give and take. If you only take from your contacts and give nothing in return, your contact will soon lose interest in you. So give and take is very important. So we have 3 steps here. There are 3 things here we will discuss one by one. First, you give opportunity for your contacts to get their point of view across the public. If you never use any quotes from particular contacts, or if you misrepresent what they say, then you are not giving in this way. Our second step is you can give good news about what is going on in your contacts organization. Or a lot of reported news is bad news, because bad news travel much faster than good news and is therefore easier to gather. People are also interested in good news as long as it is real news. Always be on lookout for a good news stories about your contacts and encourage them to tell you about good things which you can publicize. Our third point is you can do little favors for them, like getting them a print of photograph which you published in a newspaper or magazine and which they liked, or getting a photocopy of back issues of your newspaper, maybe even giving them a copy of program which they appeared. So dear students, in next session we will discuss ethical issues in reporting on politics.